So I understand you ladies are interested, or you've thought about volunteering in our schools?
Yes, I thought about volunteering for some time, but I thought, well, I'm not really qualified for any position.
Not qualified. Well, you can walk, can't you? And talk? But seriously, you know, really with all the budget cutbacks and everything, having another adult that's interested in helping students is just so valuable. And it's rewarding.
Yes, you're right about that, but what about degrees? I don't have
Degrees?
No, I don't have degrees.
Well, we don't expect people to be martial arts experts. Yeah, you know, unless you have a 5th belt, black belt degree or something like that. But really, you don't need a degree.
You don't need a degree?
No. You just need to be able to speak and hopefully either fluently in English or fluently in Spanish. You know, we could use those skills in any of that.
Well, that makes sense.
So far, you don't need a degree.
Mhm.
You can walk and talk, and even the walking part isn't that necessary. If you can get here in a chair, wheelchair, or what have you.
Well, what about the classroom? How are the teachers at responding to volunteers and teaching them what has to be done?
Oh, I think that teachers just are clamoring for volunteers. They would just love people to come in. And, you know, if you're worried about, well, I won't know what to do, well, we're not going to throw you to the wolves. I mean, the kids, you know, we're going to go through and, like I've done in the past, I'll talk to the person and explain what it is I need. And if it's something that fits, then I'll show them and teach them what they need to do. And then they'll practice. And then they'll do it while I'm watching. And when the person is ready, that's when I would let them go. You know, some people can get ready quicker, and then other people need more hand holding. And I'm pretty good at holding hands.
That would work for the math, because I understand this new math. I'm not very up on that.
Oh, well, you know, we're not going to be teaching quantum physics or anything like that. So you don't need finite math or calculus, although maybe at the high school you might need some calculus. But, you know, basically, we need basics. The basic operations: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication.
Well, that sounds interesting enough, because I'm not a quantum physics person. Now, I do know that you have computers in the schools, and I am not very computer literate.
Well, a lot of the things that we do not require you to be on the computer. However, if you're interested in computers and you want to learn about them, that would be a good opportunity.
Then you'll be working with me along with the students so that I can sort of go for broke on it.
Remember, I'm good at hand holding. I'm not going to throw you to the kids.
Well, that kind of commitment, I don't know if I would have that type of time. What are we talking about here? Do I spend a whole day at the...
You know, you could spend 24/7, and some of us teachers do, but, you know, just 1 hour a week.
I can select my own day?
Oh, sure.
And time.
Right. So, you know, if you only have Tuesdays between 1 and 3, then we'd see if there was an opening or, you know, what would fit.
Okay. Well, I suppose what it really boils down to is a lack of confidence. I need to
Well, you know,
understand.
just the fact that you thought about volunteering means that you are thinking about helping kids learn. And that caring and that interest is all you really need to be qualified to volunteer in our schools.
I think it's sold me. And what I need to do
Okay,
is...
can you sign right here, please?
Oh, thanks for talking with me, Miss Stringer, because I really was concerned about it. It's something that I have never done, and perhaps I should get interested because it's necessary in the community. We need this kind of help, not just from people who are seniors, but from anybody who has an extra hour or two.
Yes.
And you know, the majority of teachers will welcome someone who wants to help and who wants to make a difference in children's lives.
True, true. And thanks again. And thank you for coming through. Muriel, you'll never guess what I did this morning. I finally went over to the school and spoke with one of the teachers. Her name is Mrs. Stringer.
Wonderful.
And she told me that the fears that I have about volunteering are just that, fears.
Fears.
Right. And she explained that step by step, the senior, what is it, a senior in schools program that they have there. Right.
Wow.
And when I asked her about not being qualified, you know what she said to me?
What?
Can you walk?
Oh,
Can you talk?
What about Mona? Mona Walker. She's in a walker.
That's right.
She's a senior in a walker, and she volunteers.
So they can take anybody at all.
Right?
So the idea of not being qualified because you think you're not physically able to go. Wow.
Yeah.
So what do
That's
you
some-
think about going over there yourself? Did you thought about it?
Well, I'm not sure because I don't have a degree.
Oh, I hit her with that. She said you do not need a degree.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
she talked about martial arts and the degrees and the
No,
belts
I
and
don't
all
know
that
martial
kind of
arts.
stuff. So I don't think that that's important. She mentioned that if we have the desire to help the children, that's what's important. And I remember you saying something similar about that when you and I talked.
Right,
About what you found in the schoolroom and the
right.
various
Our
schools.
enjoyment working with the children, right? Oh, we could give so much to them. Our knowledge, our little bit of knowledge, our hands-on.
Well, that's what I was thinking when we talked about the days and the commitment.
That's, sometimes you think about that. But, gee, I've been retired now 8 years. Commitment, my goodness. I don't want to really stay home. I want to be helping others. But, can I give an hour away from my housework? I don't know.
Who likes
What-
housework? Who likes
No, no,
housework?
no, no.
Nobody
Not
likes
so much.
housework.
I'll just leave it as it is.
What she told me is you can select your days.
Okay.
You can select your hours. Yes, if you want to go just 1 or 2 hours a day, that's all you need.
Any day of the week?
Any day you like.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. So think about it.
But I don't know computers.
Neither do I. They're going to teach us.
They're going to teach us how to do this?
How about that? And they're pretty nice looking too,
They
aren't
sure
they?
are.
Yeah, they do
They
teach
look
us.
nice, yeah.
So that'll be something up on your grandson.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness.
So have I sold you?
Well, Monday through Fridays, I think maybe on a Tuesday I could come in maybe for an hour. But I think maybe I'll try it out first because how are the teachers?
Well, she tells me that they go through sort of an interviewing process
Okay.
where you come in and they'll talk with you, and if what you're interested in is a fit for what they have, then they will start one by one taking you through the process of whatever it is that you need to learn. And that's something else she mentioned, that we're not too old to learn something new.
Oh, we
Yeah.
learn each day.
Yes.
And we'll learn also from the students, I'm sure.
There you go. There you go. Who's a better teacher?
Right. So are you planning on volunteering?
I signed on the dotted
You
line. Yes,
did?
indeed I did.
Can I go in on any day?
Any day you like.
Just go in and check with the secretary and make the appointment and sign? Well, I think I will.
There you go.
Thank you, Dorothy, for
I had somebody
encouraging
to-
me.
Yeah, but I had somebody to drive me. Now I don't have to use my gas.
Oh, and I'm walking distance.
Well, here we are again with Gail Stringer, the special ed teacher at Graham School. And I'm going to ask an open-ended question to Gail, let her talk. Tell us about special ed program here.
Well, the program that I'm doing is a resource specialist program, and most of the kids come and we do a pull-out. So individual children will come in small groups, and then we work with them on their needs. Most of the time it's with reading, and sometimes it's with math, and sometimes it's with both.
And I take it you enjoyed it.
I do. And you know, it's like the kids that are struggling and they haven't been able to learn in the general education class because maybe the way it's being taught just doesn't work for them. And so I try to address their needs.
You get lots of support from the school district.
Yes, we do.
You're good. And how long have you been here?
This is my 5th year here.
5th year, and you're going to be here 5 more years.
At least, I hope. You never know.
Is this a program that's been in effect for a long, long time, or is it fairly new? Or?
What, the special education
Uh-huh.
program? Oh, it's been around for many, many years.
I mentioned that I had a son, and they sent him to a school in Union City, and I wasn't quite sure why, but I guess it was special for him. You have students that you send out to other schools.
I don't, at this school, I'm not aware of any students that are sent out. Usually, now with the budget cuts and everything, it's like, we want to keep, you know, people in.
What, the
and
ADA?
Yeah, with the whole push is to try to get them to be in the least restrictive environment, which means, you know, if they can function and perform in the general education classroom, that's where we want them to be, and then we can support them where we need to.
Well, we're doing this taping here to encourage people to volunteer at the schools. What could they do to help you?
I think that's great. Well, a lot of times, you know, kids who have special needs need that little extra one-on-one. And I've had volunteers here, like Mrs. Antwine, and, you know, they'll come in and they'll work one-on-one with students. I have a specific program that I use that's phonics based, and you know, I think a lot of times kids need to have direct instruction. You know, you can't just kind of say, oh yes, do this, and
Doesn't fit everybody.
Yeah. So you need that one-on-one, and you need that explicit, you know, this is this, and a lot of repetition helps. And you know, you can't do that with one adult and many children. So additional bodies, volunteers, really helps.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your input. We're going to be interviewing a few volunteers later on, and thank you for this. Rick is. Well, we're at Graham School, and they have here Muriel Gallegos. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right yet, but she's a parent volunteer. She has her badge on. And tell us, what do you do as a volunteer, and do you enjoy it? Which I know the answer is yes.
Señor Dane, yo soy la señora Gallegos y me encanta ayudar a los estudiantes aquí en la escuela Graham. Las maestras aquí necesitan voluntarias que hablan los dos idiomas, en inglés y español, para darle más ganas a los estudiantes, estudiar y tener más sabe en lo que se están conociendo cada día aquí, porque las maestras dan todo su corazón y me encanta ayudarles.
Well, that's very good, yes. I'm not quite sure what you said there, but I think people that do understand the language, I could tell from your expression that you really enjoy what you're doing and you
Yes.
believe in it.
Yes.
And we've interviewed some other people, Rick and I, at other schools, and everybody seems to be really happy with volunteering in the schools. It's very rewarding, I think, to the people, and also it's a big help to the schools and the teachers. And what we're doing now is we want more people to do this. So tell us, I'm not sure if you said it in Spanish, but say again, we need volunteers, please come and join us.
Eso, necesitamos más voluntarios aquí en las escuelas. En todas las escuelas aquí en Newark, pero también en Fremont, en todas partes. Ya sabemos que aquí en Newark tenemos mucha gente que habla en español. Los padres hablan español. ¿Y cómo se van a enseñar los niños? Si las maestras le quieren enseñar inglés, pero cuando lleguen a su casa hablan español. Por favor, si conocen a más gente que hablan inglés y español, dale el número de aquí, de la escuela, de la señora Mona Walker, que es la que me ayudó a meter aquí para ayudar a las escuelas. Ayudé en Shillings, ayudé aquí en Graham, ya va 5 años que estoy ayudando. Y qué bonito ver cuando van a la escuela alta, when they go to high school, how good I feel, because their self-esteem is built up by knowing the 2 languages.
Oh.
Excuse me, I do talk in 2 languages here, and I will at this time.
Well, I learned one thing, much grass. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Señora Gallegos, ¿nos podría decir lo que usted nos dijo anteriormente? Could you please tell us, Mrs. Gallegos, what you actually said so eloquently?
What I was saying in Spanish a moment ago is how much I enjoy as a volunteer, a bilingual volunteer here at Graham School. I was introduced by Mona Walker, and she started me off about 5 years ago. I helped out in Schilling School, and then since then here in Graham. And I've so enjoyed seeing the self-esteem of the children, understanding now not only one language, is Spanish, but 2 languages. And it's just been so wonderful seeing them now, some of them now in junior high and high school.
Muy bien, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much, Mrs. Gallegos.
Well, hello, here I'm at Graham School with the principal, Terry Dunn. Terry's going to tell us a little bit about Graham School. We're also going to be interviewing a teacher here and a few volunteers. So, Terry, I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us what you can about Graham School and how great it is.
Okay. Well, Graham School has been in Newark for 51 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful, warm community where our test scores have improved significantly in the last 2 years. A lot of positive things are happening here. And one of the wonderful things that's happening is we're getting a lot of community support that's coming forward. We're partnered now with the Rotary Club, with Rotaract, with Avanzando.
Avanzando.
Yeah, and so they're all coming in. We have a new parents group here this fall. We just had our elections, and there's a lot of positive energy that's coming together to help the kids accomplish things. And one of the areas of support that we have and that we appreciate is the work that we have with our seniors in the classroom who are helping our kids learn how to read.
Great, great. I'm looking here, we have Gail Stringer, the teacher of special ed. Tell us a little bit about special ed. We're going to review her also, but tell us about the special ed program.
Well, we do everything that we can to meet the needs of all the kids, whatever the needs may be. And if a child needs extra support and needs extra time to work with things, we set up programs for that to happen. And so Mrs. Stringer has her program organized to help kids with whatever their needs are.
Well, thank you. We're going to be interviewing some volunteers that come here. We appreciate your input. Thank you very much.
And thank you.
Well, here at Graham School with Christine Adams. Christine, tell us what your duties are here. Just tell us, and could you use volunteers in school, seniors?
Oh, I could certainly use senior volunteers in the school, in my classroom. I am a reading intervention specialist. I work with English language learners and also with several special ed students. And I have in my biggest class, I have 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and 21 of them. We have a wonderful program, but it's a big program. It has, their day is divided into kind of two parts, a whole group lesson, and then about an hour or so of small group work. And during that hour, they rotate 3 times, and they spend 20 minutes on a computer, and they spend 20 minutes with me in a small group lesson, and they spend another 20 minutes doing independent work on books that they are choosing and reading independently, and doing write-ups, responding to questions, taking tests on those books that they've read. And I do have a senior 1 day a week, and she is wonderful. And what she does is she will listen to students read. She will ask them questions about what they've read. She also will just kind of monitor what's going on the computer to make sure that the kids aren't playing around. Computers are just, wide open for curious kids. So sometimes they need a little tap on the shoulder and stick with it here. Let's not do any right click and pull up a new drop-down menu or anything like that. And she can reinforce things when they have given me work that I can clearly see that they didn't understand what they were doing. Then I can put a little Post-it note on it and say, could you go over this question and the child's response with this particular student? And it's just really, really an important thing to have that 1 day a week when I have my senior, my friend in my classroom helping out. And the kids look forward to her coming. One time she had laryngitis and she called and squeaked to the secretary that she wouldn't be in. And the kids asked, they said, where's Mrs. Gallegos? How come Mrs. Gallegos isn't coming in? It's Thursday. So they look forward to having her too. So yes, any additional help we could have.
So you could use
in
somebody
this.
another day or two?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Most definitely. Yeah, but it is a wonderful program. It's just really big and really should have more than one person in the classroom.
Yeah, we've interviewed several teachers and volunteers, and all teachers and volunteers seem to really fit together, and it's beneficial to the students.
Yeah, it really is. With the cutbacks that we've had in staffing, this same class that I had last year only had 15 students in it. Part of the year even only 14, and that was really productive because boy, they were all just kind of right
It
there.
just kind of follows that the less students you have, the better attention you
The
can
more
have.
intervention
Yeah.
you can do with them. And now I have 21, and it's really different.
Well, thank you for the interview. We're going to see if
Yes.
we can get you some more volunteers. We're going to have information
you.
later in this that will tell you how to contact, be a volunteer at Seniors in Schools program. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, well, in conclusion, here we're at Graham School. I want to thank Dorothy Lynch Antoine, Maria Gallegos, our special ed teacher here at the school, Gail Stringer. Also a teacher we interviewed, Christine Adams. We also interviewed the principal, Terrence Dunn. Rick Ariano is doing the filming here. And my name is Jack Dane, and I'm the president of ARP, and under the auspices of ARP Seniors in School program. So we want to thank you all for your participation, and have a good day.
Thank you.